Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your love reading for December 2019. This is just going to be a general love reading. I'm not going to do like singles versus couples and all that unless like I get specific channeled messages that come up about it. But we're just going to have some fun here, and hopefully it'll be a lot less long than sorry, I needed to move my phone there. I forgot that I left it there. Hopefully it'll be a lot less long than Pisces love reading, because that was like big messages there. They had some things that really needed to come through, I guess, for them. So let's talk about love this month, okay? Love for the end of the decade. Ooh. We're actually going to use, I feel like using the Gustav Klimt Tarot here to start off for you guys. Happy birthday to all my amazing Sages. Thank you guys. Although I don't really like saying Sag, or some people say Saggies, and I feel like, ugh, just call them Sagittarians, what they are. But let's see what comes up here for love for you guys this month and how it's really feeling. It's been an interesting ride, it feels like, over the past year. A lot of tests and trials. So let's see what your general energy towards love is this month. Love and relationship. Oh, it's interesting. I don't really want to put that reversed. I don't want to put it reversed. So we're going to take it upright. Ace of Cups. Some of you might be, again, in the throes of love here. And, you know, love is dramatic. So we could be in kind of a tumultuous relationship. But I also feel that there is a great sense of healing, of opening our heart here, of coming into a greater sense of love. And for some of you, new love, communication with new people that you could be falling in love with or having this heartfelt connection with. Interesting that comes up. What are your... Interesting. You know what? We're going to take it. You really want to take control of your love life, don't you? The Hangman is here. He always asks us to really find equilibrium in your concept of reality. And for me, this feels like in your concept of reality of what is really going on here. So you might need to really look at a situation. It feels almost like some power play stuff here. Sorry, I don't want this to fall. Please don't fall. Okay. Sorry, I've got way too many decks on the table here. And I need to like weigh them down a little bit so they don't fall. But we get the Five of Swords and then the Emperor. The Five of Swords in this deck talks about, you know, gaining an upper hand, winning, gaining power in a situation, overcoming something by battling, you know, through a battle, through fighting. So to me, this feels like you would like to gain some power back, obviously, and have more control in your love life. Be more of an influence on it. You really want to create a stronger relationship that you feel, again, that you have more control in. For those of you in relationships, we could be fighting a little bit more. And in order to stop fighting, I think that you need to just change some perspective. And again, how we communicate. Find different ways to communicate. Meet in the middle, it feels like, is a message that I'm getting. Find ways to meet in the middle, even if you're not really the compromising type and the other person isn't either. Let's see. Ooh. You know, the Emperor he played a huge role in the Pisces love reading as well. I don't know why he keeps coming up, but I also feel in a strange way he might represent, in these readings, Jupiter moving into Capricorn, kind of taking on this very, what did I say the other day? A lot about, and this has been coming up in the dailies as well. What is it? Like a father that wants you to learn some lessons, character building. That's what I want to talk about, character building. There's some character building going on here in terms of love, and it could be bringing up some fears, anxiety, some of our less than stellar qualities in terms of how we communicate and how we try to gain the upper hand in a relationship. Whether that's you or the other person in the situation, you're going to be looking at it. It's going to be, you know, the throes of power here are going to be looked at, tested, analyzed. And yet, Where is it? And yet there's really good stuff coming in, even if it doesn't feel so, for maybe I would say like the first half. To me, this kind of feels like that first eclipse, what is that? It's Gemini, the full moon of Gemini on the 11th, 12th. We have that first eclipse that day. That's going to be, what is that in for you? Can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But there is this really, I'm sorry, forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm going to try to count this down. This is going to bother me if I don't think about it. So let me just... Seventh house. Gemini is your 7th house, I believe. Forgive me if I'm wrong, guys, but again, that is about relationships. So there is really a flip in relationships, and that's really what I'm looking at here, because the cards that come out after that moon card there, where, you know, you're trying to gain the upper hand, trying to understand a situation, it's like Ace of Swords comes in here to kind of say, you know, I don't know, it kind of like draws out that need for strength, that need for the upper hand. It kind of makes you realize that maybe what you were working towards wasn't the healthiest decision. Either that, or again, we could be bringing, you know, there is, I'm going to find a way to describe it that doesn't feel, let me use the Game of Thrones tarot for that actually. Hold on. What's happening there? Because it really changes to a beautiful perspective, and I'll show you the cards in a second. But I need to see what's going on right there. It's almost like some of you really need to just take a break and take a step back in a situation. You don't have the energy or the fighting power or really the mental state here, it feels like, to make the right decisions around then. So don't get all intense. And if you do find yourself getting intense and trying to gain power and having your, again, less than stellar qualities brought up, it's just Jupiter in Capricorn. I mean, it was just in your sign for a year. You guys know what that meant, and you know what it brought up for you. But now it talks about, you know, how to move forward and focus on our freedom to really create the life that we want, the relationships that we want. It's more about money because it is 2nd house for you, but to me it feels like it's still kind of giving you some little lessons here to say, you know, we need to let go of some negative qualities, and because Jupiter in Capricorn really does ask us to put in the effort in releasing negative qualities, negative patterns, toxic behaviors in relationships too. So if you want to move forward, 4 of Swords, you got to take a step back. You got to look at this from a different perspective. You really have to look at your boundaries. 9 of Spears reverse, you kind of have to shift your boundaries here. Have you been, you know, keeping somebody on the outs? Have you been keeping the other person on the outs, not letting people in, not allowing others to kind of take an equal amount of charge and control and really energy into a relationship? Because then we get the 2 of Spears here. We need to really look at this from a, you know, a more long-term perspective. You know, where are we at now, and where do we want to move towards the future, and what is really the best way to do so? When you kind of sit back, pause, and reflect around that time, it feels like that full moon lunar eclipse on the 12th, we do get that then we have this switching after it, which is beautiful, which is, you know, the ace, why do I want to call it that, the Ace of Pentacles? No, this is the wheel of fortune, which is literally a shift in circumstances. It's changing. It is, you know, the changes, you know, the ups and downs of life in flux here, but it feels like it's going in the right direction, because then you get the Lovers, which is really beautiful energy. Again, things shift at that Gemini full moon eclipse there. Things really do shift. You have an option to love. You have an option to kind of come together. And if you choose to do so, you'll be fostering a beautiful, healthy, wonderful relationship. For some of you in relationships, you could be thinking, is this the time to have kids? I don't know. And maybe you decide you want to. There is some luck there, obviously, but I would say you have some thinking to do about a situation in terms of love this month. But again, after that full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini, it feels like things become a lot more clear. They start flowing in the right direction, and all you have to do is, you know, be willing to restructure the boundaries in terms of what they are around your heart and in your relationships here. The Empress is beautiful. This is such a beautiful, fertile, lovely, abundant, amazing energy. It's beautiful. pull a clarifier for that beautiful little part there, because I don't know, guys. I didn't really feel like there's too much more that I really want to get into in this, which is surprising because I feel like Pisces was like almost a half hour. But, you know, they're walking, talking, emotional people. They're just walking, talking emotions. Whereas you guys are in a really good spot right now. It feels like things are good right now. They're moving forward in a great way. Ace of Spears does come up. We have energy, we have communication, new beginnings, if we're willing to take them. Passion coming back in. It feels to me like some of you needed a new way to communicate and a new way to restructure your boundaries for the future within a relationship. And these are some changes that probably needed to happen for a while, changes that needed to occur. But they also ask you to change your life here. Judgment always asks you to shift your life according to what's being brought up now and in the right direction instead of how we've done it before. In a different way. There's work involved, and there always will be in relationships and with Jupiter and Capricorn. You're good at this though. It feels like, you know, you've accumulated a lot of growth, learning lessons over the past year, and you're ready to apply it. So yeah, we do have a pause. We do have a need to look at some unhealthy behaviors in ourselves and in whoever else is involved in this relationship or marriage or, you know, potential relationship, and look at it from a less intense perspective, and just, it's almost like letting things kind of go with the flow and finding a different way to communicate despite wanting to go back to old unhealthy ways. Yeah, Six of Swords. We need to move forward and move on. Take the lessons and not the emotions. We're entering a new phase here. A new year. A really big new year here. And again, we get the Empress again. So maybe some of you are dealing with a Taurus, or, again, really would like to have children, or, you know, are exploring what it might mean to be a mother or to get to that next level in a relationship. But there is, again, regardless of whether, you know, it's mother energy or not, or you want to get pregnant or not, there is this beautiful energy about the Empress that is just, you know, Venusian, love, joy, benefic energy. And it's beautiful. There's great healing. There's great manifestation of whatever it is, you know, you've been looking for. It just feels like luck, fertility, all this good stuff coming in. And if it is with a Taurus, like, it just feels good. This person is on the same wavelength as you. They're willing to put in the effort. They're willing to put in the work. And, you know, we're going to have this really passionate, really beautiful, like, Venusian chemistry that is just romantic and sexy and lovely by the end of this month. So I don't even want to get into this any deeper, honestly, Sag. It's beautiful. It's a lovely reading, and I don't want to overthink it. It's just, it looks great. It looks a little bit, you know, awkward, and, you know, maybe we need to pause and, like, look at things in different ways and look at why we want the upper hand and why we are trying to seek it out in the beginning of the month. But it really does switch to such a beautiful, beautiful energy here, when probably especially after Venus goes into Aquarius in your 3rd house, where communication just becomes, again, a lot more, I don't know, it just feels like sumptuous, sexy, beautiful. You deserve love. You are lovable. Message for you. Those of you who have needed to move on from a situation, choose this. You're going to know what that Ace of Wands, Empress energy is that's coming in. And it will be willing, you know, this will be worth it for you in terms of working towards it. It'll show you the love that you deserve. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. And, like, that's what I've been saying for a lot of this. We do have the Empress. And how did I not notice this until right now? And now as soon as I say engagement, I see this. The Empress and the Emperor in the same deck are right here. Here they are. What do you call that? A perfect pairing, divine masculine, divine feminine. No matter what your genders are, this is creator energy. We have the ability to create a beautiful relationship here, to ascend it to a higher level of commitment if you're willing to work for it. There is work to be done. There is new ways to communicate. There is this great energy that comes in to really, it just feels like lubricate all that energy and just make it better. So be willing to move to that higher level of commitment. Be willing to ascend in a relationship. Be willing to work on something if you find that it's worth it, and if you know that this is your divine counterpart. Let's pull one Stacey DeMarco Halloween Oracle, just because, you know, I really like to use them even if they're not love oracles. I find that they just have great messages. guidance and advice in terms of love for Sagittarius this month. Ooh, I want one more. And that's why I wanted one more. Oh my God. This is one of my favorite cards to get. Sorry guys, let me get some water. You guys are having me choke. Not like Aquarius and Leo though. Their monthly reads literally gave me heart palpitations. I couldn't do anything for the day after. Like, it was crazy. I don't know what they're going through, but it's like too much. Night Song. Those are some crazy channeled messages. Do check them out if you are either of those signs or have great placements there. Where is Night Song? There it is. Okay, I always accidentally skip that page there. Sorry. Night Song, hidden talents. So should this beautiful but shy bird sing to you by appearing during your divination, know that you must unwrap the present of yourself. Look, some of the gifts within you remain unopened. The time has come to step into your true potential and claim all possibilities for yourself. There is no more time to waste, no more excuses. Oof, yes. Then we get Apple. You don't have to tell a Sag twice to go for somebody. You guys will do it when you're interested, absolutely. When you guys are interested in somebody, like, you're in it. I love that about you guys. Apple, risk and reward. So, oh, there it is. Apples have been an iconic part of the mythos from ancient times to the modern. The story of the poisoned apple of Snow White, to the Roman goddess Pomona's magical apple tree, to the Christians' tempting fruit in the Garden of Eden. Should you receive this apple in your reading, it's time to look at how risk plays out in your life. Are you hedging your bets and not trying anything new? Do you want to change but are not willing to change anything? Are you willing to risk to get a greater reward? Or alternatively, are you risking too much too often? Questions we should ask ourselves this month for sure. All right, I hope this was helpful, guys. If you want to book a private reading, all the information is in the description box below. Know that for 20-minute or longer readings, guys, I actually am taking half off for the remainder of the year. So the remainder of December, you can get half off of any 20-minute or longer reading for yourself, or if you want to gift it to somebody. If you do want to gift a reading to somebody, please email me first and we'll set it all up. And just have a wonderful rest of the month, guys. Good luck with everything. Blessings to you guys. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to share if you enjoyed the video, and I really appreciate all of your support. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful month. Namaste, Sagittarius. Happy birthday.